I haven't pointed this out, but all of the doors' symbols are the Kokiri Emerald from Ocarina. I think this takes place, like, hundreds of years after Ocarina in the timeline where Ganon takes over. I think that's the right timeline. Where Link loses and Ganon wins. No, that's the one with all the old Zelda games. This might be the adult timeline, I can't remember. The Zelda timeline is too complicated, and doesn't make total sense to me. Minish Cap should still be the first one, because it's the explanation for how Link got his hat. That's what I believe, anyway. This is a strange boss fight, but also a cool one. Makes clever use of the boomerang. I like fights and things where you use your own... You use the enemy's own attacks against them. It just feels like payback. And it's such dramatic irony. That's not what dramatic irony means. But it is ironic. The music here is also really catchy, but because this fight is really easy, you don't get to hear it for very long. Nope, almost got you. Stop aping around. Slash his butt a few more times. That would be horribly painful. You've been misbehaving, so I'm gonna give you a spanking. With a sword! But no, it wasn't him misbehaving. It was a parasite on his head that, I guess, took over his mind. And suddenly he is ashamed that he is naked and he exits the Garden of Eden. Kind of like Limbo's brain-eating parasites that take over your brain. This is happening. I am the Fairy of Winds who resides in this boomerang. You have freed me from evil, and now I have my true power back. Please, take it with you, use it to aid your quest, and may both my power and my blessing go with you. Etc. The boomerang talks to us, and then never again. That's the only time that it ever says anything to us. I don't know why it even speaks in the first place. I guess the developers wanted there to be an explanation for why the boomerang has these crazy wind powers. It just creates a tornado out of nothing. Well, out of wind, I guess, would be the logical explanation, but you don't really need an explanation for that. You can just say it's a magic boomerang. You don't have to make it sentient and then take away its sentience immediately after it talks. Just seems kind of pointless to me. Another thing in this game that happens once and never again. It behaves a lot like the boomerang in Wind Waker if you've played that. You can focus on 5 different points. Although, because this one has the wind powers, it's useful for a few different other things, as well as just attacking multiple points at once. And now, I can impatiently move these bridges around. I command the winds now. Wind Waker Link ain't got nothing on me. And boom. Zaboomafoo. Because monkeys. The monkey strategically jumps on the center of those bridges, so they don't have to animate it running across whenever they're facing the right way. Okay. One thing that I appreciate about the dungeons in this game is that usually they feel just positively huge. There's always some point where you see an area that's way bigger than what you can actually explore. But it makes sense that you can't explore it all, So it doesn't just feel like, ooh, I'm taunting you with this place that you can't be in. If that makes any sense. What else do I have to do? Let me check the map really fast. Oh yeah, I remember. Because I have the boomerang, I can now go to that section up there. Am I headed the right way? I believe this is the right way. Doing some backtracking. Being the king of swing that Donkey Kong is. This isn't important, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I believe this is the... no? I believe this is the compass. Eh? What could it be? What could it be? Here it comes! Here it comes! It's an item that we're not gonna use. Yeah. Just figured that I would show that it's there. Because it is still one of the bigger items. I know that I keep talking about Ocarina, but... I remember Egoraptor was talking about in his A Link to the Past versus Ocarina video, his sequelitis video that a lot of people didn't like and then a lot of people liked, but it got a lot of complaints because he was being too whiny or something. I enjoyed the video. He had a lot of complaints that I agreed with, but just didn't think were that big of a deal compared to what he thinks of them. But one of the complaints that he had was the cutscenes whenever you open treasure chests. They take too long, you should just be able to go up to the treasure chest and open it, and then you get what it is. And all the suspense should just come from walking to the treasure chest in the first place. It's like extra wait time whenever you have to see the little cutscene beforehand. I like the cutscene, it doesn't bother me. This is the wrong way. But, I can also understand it. Because I just got the compass, and the compass is a relatively unimportant item, and so is the map. So it seems a little bit silly that you have a suspenseful cutscene before those, and not just big things like the big key or the item of the dungeon. Alright. One thing that I want to point out, even though it's stupid, the texture on the ceiling, I'm pretty sure is the same texture that's on the top of these poles here. All the little individual poles. I'm fairly certain that they have the same texture that's on the ceiling in some of the rooms. I can't get a good angle on that. You can kind of see it. It's like the peg on the left, the very top of it, is so much more high definition than most of the other textures because it's meant for an entire ceiling. And then sometimes it's the reverse, and the texture on the ceiling seems really low quality. Okay. I don't consider graphics to be one of the most important parts of a game. This is something that I've said before in other videos, but I still think it's worth pointing out. People say that if a game has too many polygons then it looks crappy. Ocarina of Time looks crappy these days because you can see every corner on every character's face and everything, and I don't agree. I still think Ocarina of Time looks great, even if it's not a technological marvel now. Because to me what matters is art style. Art style, art direction, that's very different from graphics. Graphics are just, like, basically how smooth things are and how smooth things run, and everything else determines how a game fits with its gameplay and with the plot and everything, creating a whole world, which I think this game does very well. And as an added bonus, I think it also has quite nice graphics. Has a little wind ever hurt bugs, really? I know that I've had, like, ants in our bathroom before, and sometimes I blow at their faces. I just blow at them, because I suspect that maybe they'll stop moving for a second, and then they do, and then they just keep moving, like nothing happened. And I always hope it does more, and maybe they'll go away, but then they don't. I'm one of those people who kills bugs, but I'm kind of inconsistent with how I do it. Like, sometimes I want to value their lives, and sometimes I just don't. It's a little bit weird, and it's hard to explain. I feel like if they're invading my property, then they deserve to die, because it's within my right to take down whoever's trespassing, as long as they're insects, or spiders, because spiders aren't technically insects. I think I can do this. I like that puzzle. It's simple, but effective. But then other times I just think bugs are cute, and I don't want to bother with them because they don't seem to be bothering anything. In essence, they are always bothering something because they keep reproducing and there are more and more of them, and then they become annoying and wreck your crap. But I don't know. I guess if I knew the kind of effect that bugs have on the inside of our house, then I might care more that they are there. But I also don't like killing things for no good reason. Kind of one of the things that makes video games interesting is that we start killing things for no good reason and we think it's okay. Which is why at some point I would like to make a game that's just... that stars some kind of peaceful character. No action of any kind, no killing of any kind. Maybe not no action, but no killing from the main character. I would like a character that's a pacifist. Even though I don't really consider myself a pacifist necessarily. I would like to be one, but I'm not sure if I know how to be one. I feel like that would take the kind of peace that I am not capable of. That was a tangent. You have to come up with things to say whenever you do long playthroughs like this. Okay. I think I can cheese this a little with a bit of a shortcut, so I don't have to blow through all of that, all those bridges again. Line it up, take out your sword. No, I forgot what I was doing. I didn't press L before pressing A, and I didn't do a jump attack. So I've lost a heart, but it's okay, I have 2 more. Darn it, B is the button. B is the... I forgot that whenever you're in the air, B is what makes you jump attack and not A. Yeah, I am dying now. Just another day in the life of Link. But he still has 3/4 of a heart left, so everything is fine. There we go, that's what I meant to do. Yeah, I like to imagine sometimes that Link just actually has 3 physical hearts in his body. And also, usually at the end of a Zelda game you have 20 hearts. So imagine 20 hearts inside Link's body all pumping at once. I think Link would just look like a bloater from... That cutscene was not supposed to play when it did. Well then. Are you gonna fall off the edge too? I guess he already did. Fascinating. Normally you're supposed to switch this bridge, and then walk to the middle, and then switch it again, and then that cutscene plays where they both are alerted of your presence. And then they start attacking you because they're on both sides of the bridge. That time, the bridge wasn't there, so when they started attacking, they just fell off. That was kind of excellent. Another spider. Another spider. Come on, guys, you're not scary anymore. maybe you're a little scary. I need to find another Monsters, Inc. quote to make. I'm sure there are plenty that I could be making, just none are coming to mind immediately. And we fall down, and hey, monkey! That was nice. There's another hole that if you fall into it, then you fall right into one of those big plants with the ugly-looking lip teeth. Luckily, though, I picked the right one.